So I really wanted to share the importance of astrology and utilizing the transits. So I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of insight. This is a transit that I pulled up that is coming for the 25th of May 2025. But I will be talking about it in regards to my natal chart and how it kind of activates it, and showing you how transits are super important to kind of understand and work with, whether you work with an astrologist to get them to discuss transits with you, or whether you learn astrology and read the transits yourself. It's really a helpful tool to navigate just your day-to-day, your week, your month, your year, all of that kind of stuff. Now, first of all, I will tell you that I'm an Aries rising, and I have an Aries moon that in the last 5 degrees of Aries, 5 to 10 degrees. And then I'm also a Gemini sun, the Leo stellium with Venus, Mars, and Jupiter conjunct in the 1st to 10 degrees of Leo. So on the 25th of May, if you're from Australia like me, we will have Saturn moving into Aries. And last month, Neptune moved into Aries as well. So you can see they're very close together at the very early degrees there. Now this will actually send a trine to my Leo placements, especially my Venus, because she is the first one there that's quite early degrees there, at about 3 degrees. So I am suspecting that on the 25th for me, there is going to be some big movements around relationship and money, because Venus was my second house, that Taurus second house of money, and my Libra 7th house of relationships. Keeping in mind that this conjunction of Saturn and Neptune is happening in my 1st house, and it'll trine my Leo placements in my 5th house. So there is also a element of Aries showing the entrepreneur, the self-branding of any businesses, and I do a lot online because I am an astrologer. So there is a lot where I'm promoting myself and my business online. And then the 5th house is creative projects. It's your business, anything that you're kind of birthing, like children, fun, pleasure, all that stuff. And so this could be a time where I start to make some big money changes and some big relationship changes when it comes to my creative projects, my self-branding. I could be working with other people, doing collabs, that kind of stuff that is really beneficial to my career and money, especially, as I said, around 5th house topics just any kind of creative projects I'm working on around astrology and spirituality. But you'll see that Pluto is also opposite that Venus that would be in Leo for me, and Pluto also sends a sextile energy to that Saturn and Neptune down there in Aries. And then that Saturn and Neptune also send some really nice sextiles through to those placements in Gemini over there. The Sun that's there in Gemini. And because I have my Mercury and Sun in Gemini, this Saturn Neptune energy will also actually sextile my Mercury. So again, Mercury rules my 6th house of health and my 3rd house of communication, social media. So again, re-emphasizing new opportunities through work and my career, but also through social media, and gives that fun kind of friendly energy too. So I'm definitely expecting things to get really busy for me and coming up with a lot of ideas around that time. And so this is how you can use transits and have a look at the aspects and the planets and the houses to kind of get a bit of an idea on what can be coming up for you or a family member if you're looking at their chart for them. But when you're looking at this stuff day to day, you can track the moon and just see where the sun moves and then what aspects are happening. I don't know a lot of people that look at their chart every single day. They might, if an event happens and they're wanting to see what was happening with the astrology to kind of correlate with, their life events. But generally people might look at things every month, or they might do a yearly kind of overview of big transits and then figure out what's coming for their year ahead or their month ahead. But I highly recommend this as an amazing tool. Even for new moons and full moons, to kind of have a look at the transits and see how that new moon or full moon is impacting your natal chart. For example, the last Pisces new moon that we had that was actually an eclipse, that was at early degrees in Pisces, and it actually squared my Mercury in Gemini. And I was going through a lot, mentally feeling really exhausted, health problems, feeling really sick, and Mercury actually rules my 6th house of health, but just physically exhausted. I had issues going on with my hormones and my energy level, and that was impacting also my work. So the actual day-to-day duties and tasks that I do at work, more 6th house topics, I was really struggling there to perform and do my duties and do my job really well. And because this Pisces new moon was actually squaring my Mercury that's in Gemini, I knew that this was going to be a really challenging time for my mental health, but at work as well, and for my overall health. Even the Aries eclipse, the last one that we had at the end of last month, that was right on my ascendant and right near my moon. And for me, what I actually noticed during this time was trying to balance my hormones, trying to balance my mood, trying to get a handle on my weight gain that I've noticed, which is because some of my health problems that I've got some serious health issues. And so during that time, I was going to the doctors, I was starting new medications, coming up with a way to balance my hormones, to kind of lose weight, eat right, exercise, all that kind of stuff, which is all Aries first house things. Like this eclipse, Aries eclipse, was actually on my ascendant, so it really rules over my physical body and me initiating a new start, a fresh chapter around my physical body and trying to work on that. And that's what I did. I'm literally working with doctors, I'm eating better, I'm exercising, I'm trying to get my weight under control, my hormones balanced, my health, my energy levels up. And it also correlates with that Pisces, new moon as well, eclipse. So both of those eclipses were kind of big for me, and transits told me like what to expect for those times. I might not tell you the full story, but I knew that with the Aries eclipse, I was working on my physical body and I was going to be making some big changes there. And I knew with the Pisces eclipse that I was going to be mentally a little bit exhausted and my mental health was probably going to be not great, maybe feeling a bit anxious, all those sorts of things, especially around work situations and my health. So again, I highly recommend this tool. If you're interested in like learning more about this, definitely go over to my other social media channels, or I can recommend some people if you comment below and want to know more that teach a lot of this stuff. I teach a little bit of it through my videos and one-on-one in Zooms if people are interested. But I also do like one-on-one astrology readings. So, looking into people's transits, year aheads, birth charts, readings like natal chart readings, all of those sorts of things, just DM me and we can look at booking you in.